downsizing and simplifying have been one of the best things that I've ever done in my life. Not just simplifying stuff, but simplifying life, simplifying all areas, like decluttering life, getting rid of the baggage, getting out of the system, getting rid of the excess, the stuff that's just accumulated over time, the things you don't need, the toxic relationships, the bad food ingredients, the subscriptions and memberships and cars and debt and all of these things that just weigh you down and pull you back, and feeling like you need more and more and more and more and more this, more that, more gadgets, more stuff, more everything. When you get to the point where you realize you want nothing but to walk with Jesus and to have a simple, beautiful life, doing what he's called you to do, running your race, fulfilling your purpose. There's nothing better than being aligned with his word, his will, and what he has for you. Letting go of the expectations that people have of you, letting go of all of the fakeness and the obligations of having to show up when you know it's not aligned with where God has, you, where you're someplace different, but then you feel obligated to show up to please that other person or be involved in compromise, even though you know that God's trying to move you to a different level. This is such a freeing experience, a liberating experience. You move into a place of victimhood and you move into a place of being a victor, because now you're saying, no, I'm not going to allow this. I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm going to have the control and the authority, and I'm not going to allow these things or these people to control me. I'm going to walk at my pace, run my race. So go fast, as slow as I need to go. And it's not just about you. Obviously, it's your family, it's your spouse, your kids, your immediate family. And I'm not talking about like everybody else and all these extensions of people and, grandmas and grandpas and cousins and second cousins and all this extension. And, you're going to wear yourself out trying to appease everybody all the time. And really what God has for you may be completely different than what he has for all of those other people. It's going to look odd to them. Most of the time, those people aren't going to be rooting for you anyways. You're going to wonder, oh, why? They're not supporting me. Yeah, they're not. With me, more people that I don't know support me than people that I do know, with the exception of my kids and husband. But you think like your friends or the people that you see every day, they're not the ones supporting. They're not the ones rooting on. They're not the ones really checking in. They're not the ones, commenting on my posts or buying through links or asking me about advice. It's always the people that I don't really know that are reaching out and that are supporting me. And so you realize that you're going to walk alone for a while, but God's going to bring the needs that you have through other sources that may be totally different than what you actually think. You got to be willing to go all in on the life that he has for you, and all in on living in freedom and abundance, and remove this bondage and this barrier that maybe you've put on yourself for years. If it's the addictions from things, you're doing things a certain way because you're addicted to it, to certain foods, to certain experiences or relationships, or needing things that you think are fulfilling that are not. Like, I need to go to the thrift store and I need to buy a bunch of junk and I need to fill my closet with treasures. No, you don't. Your hobby can turn into an idol. It can turn into a consuming thing. It's good to have hobbies, but when those hobbies are controlling your life and taking over your life, that is not a healthy place to be. So you got to get control. And one of the issues is on social media, there's so many women that are like, they act so overly happy with this junk that they bought. Like, can you believe I just found this? And they're like running through Target like a little kid going, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff. And it's junk. When you are filling your house with so much stuff, remember, that used to be money. And now you've traded it for plastic, for things that are going to disintegrate, collect dust, steal your time, that you're going to have to move all over the place. You have to shop with intention. You have to select the things that really move you, not because somebody said, oh, this is a great deal, you got to buy it. Now, if it's a great deal and it's on sale and it's something that you really love, triple win, right? Then, of course, get it. There's nothing wrong. You want to save. You don't want to overspend, overbuy. But the problem is we end up overspending if we're so motivated by a good deal. When you're so motivated by a good deal, all of those good deals add up to be a not good deal. It ends up being a lot more money than it would have been if you would have had self-control and controlled your moves and bought what you really loved and waited for the right time to get what you really loved. You got to slow down and think, and that's going to help your life speed up. When you slow down, you're going to be able to speed up, because you're going to cover more territory in a short period of time than you would ever do on your own in your old habits. Like, this is the time to rise up, to really gain control. We're almost into the third quarter of 2025. This whole year has gone by so fast. You don't want to be where you were a year ago. You don't want to be the same person. You don't want to be where you were the beginning of the year. You have to develop and you have to grow. And in order to do that, you got to let go of the old and allow the new growth to have room to take bloom.